Hey guys, Michael from COPPERVSGLASS, and Google wrapped up their event on the 4th of October this year and introduced a bunch of new hardware including the Pixel phone, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today, while also having a little bit of a rant about what Google's turning into. So let's take a look. So just to get this out of the way guys, I'm not bashing the Pixel or the Pixel XL in any way at all. They're extremely nice devices coming with a Snapdragon 821 processor, Adreno 530 GPU, and they come with 32 or 120 gigabytes of internal memory and 4 gigabytes of RAM. And also the DxO mark for the camera is the best that you can get at the moment with 89, and I'm actually going to put a link in the description down below so you can go and read on DxO mark about the Google Pixel and just in general the camera and how good it actually is. And looking at some of the samples and some of the information they've got, it's definitely one of the best cameras available, so hopefully if I can get my hands on a Pixel, I'll be doing a really in-depth review of the camera. But what I do want to do is go back to 2013, which was a really great year for Google. It had the Nexus 5, the 2013 Nexus 7, and also introduced us to something that pretty much a lot of people have these days, the Chromecast. Now one thing that I would say is back then a lot of people were saying about comparisons between Google and also the iPhone, and in terms of price wise, you could actually get an unlocked Nexus 5, a Nexus 7 and a Chromecast for the same price as an iPhone. You had the 32GB Nexus 5 coming in at $399, the Chromecast was $35, and you also then had the Nexus 7, which back in the day was a really awesome tablet, and that came in at $269 for the 32GB model, and like I say, that cost less than an iPhone at that time. Jump forward now to the release of the Pixel and the Pixel XL, and you're looking at a price of $769. Now when we compare that to the price of an iPhone 7, you're looking at exactly the same price, $769, and that's kind of where I'm having a bit of a problem with the Pixel phone. When the Nexus 5 came out, it had comparable specs to devices that were out around that sort of time, but because it was made by Google and it was a Nexus device, it was a lot cheaper than those other devices, whereas now you can actually pick up a Galaxy S7 unlocked for cheaper than this new Pixel phone. Now yes, I know that the Pixel is newer and it does have newer internals, better hardware and a really awesome camera, at least on paper, but is that really worth the cost of this phone? Obviously Google has now killed off the Nexus line completely, and they're going to be focusing way more on doing their own hardware to go along with their software as well. Now obviously the Pixel is made by HTC, however you won't be able to find any HTC branding whatsoever on the Google Pixel. It just has the G Google logo on the back now instead, and let's talk about the design for a second. I'm not a massive fan of this new design for this Google Pixel phone and the Pixel XL. Now don't get me wrong, I know what they're going for. It's a very simplistic, very minimal design, but it's just not very nice to look at. On the back of the device you do have some really nice aluminium, and you do have a glass shield at the top, which I'm guessing may scratch over time, but again we're going to have to look at it over prolonged use to actually confirm that. On the front of the device you do have a really nice screen, but you've also got some really big bezels as well. This phone only is a little bit smaller than what you're going to be getting with the Nexus 6P, but keep in mind that is a 5.7 inch screen, and here we're getting a 5.5 inch screen. Now I know it does have things like USB Type-C and also a headphone jack as well, so in terms of having some bezels on the top and the bottom, that may be quite important, but it also has a bottom firing speaker which can easily be covered up by one hand, so again no front facing speakers in those big bezels, and the fact that the phone is made by HTC, I may be expecting some nice sound quality coming from the speakers on this device. But this video is mainly to find out what you guys think of what Google done on the 4th of October with the Pixel, the Pixel XL, the new Chromecast, which I may do a whole separate video for because $69 for a Chromecast is a little bit steep. Google Home looks really awesome, and also the Daydream VR looks really cool as well. However, it does only work with the Pixel XL. I know that it's a Daydream enabled phone, but it would be nice to use other devices that use VR like the Galaxy S7 or even an iPhone, and just have different features but still use the same headset like you can do with a lot of third-party VR headsets that you can buy from Amazon for instance. So guys, let me know in the description down below what you thought of the Google event, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. And if you didn't enjoy this video for any in particular reason with the content or anything that I'm saying about the Google Pixel phone, let me know in the comments section and we can by all means have a conversation about it just to see exactly what people are thinking. Now obviously Google Plus isn't really that big anymore, and it's really turned into a place for surveys and questionnaires, and if you go on there at the moment, a load of people have put surveys and questionnaires up on whether you will be upgrading upgrading from a Nexus 6P to the Google Pixel, or just in general picking up the new Google Pixel itself, and a lot of people are saying that they're maybe not going to have a look. Now, whether they're actually going to be doing that or whether they're just saying it to kind of follow along with the crowd, I'm not too sure, but these are my thoughts and my opinions on the Google Pixel, so do take them with a pinch of salt because it's just what I think initially. Obviously, I haven't picked up the device yet, but for me, the keynote that happened yesterday was a little bit underwhelming, and I think that they could have done a little bit better. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Subscribe for more great content from COPPERVSGLASS, and I will catch you guys in the next video.